and welcome. Welcome and hello. That's for Trey. What's up? Thank you for joining us on another episode of No Answers Yet. As you can see to my left, there's no Trey tonight. This will be Mason will be filling in for Mr. Trey. Say hi, Mason.
No, I was forced here against my will.
Oh, okay. I guess he was. Trey was busy doing some stuff at work, so he couldn't make it, unfortunately. But we love you, Trey. I'm Kiko Fresh, by the way.
I'm still Mason.
Yeah, it's still Mason. And we got English on the knobs. Say hi, English.
Hello.
So beautiful. So beautiful. All right, let's get down to business to defeat the Huns. No, we are going to be, let's get this show started. So, on tonight's episode, our topic is Apple versus everyone else. Drum rolls, please. Thank you, guys. All right, wow, that was awesome. So, how do you guys feel? Personally, your boy Kiko Fresh is an Apple user. English is an Apple user. This guy...
And I'm a non-crapple user, so yeah.
Whoa! Shots fired at Apple. Should we kick him off the episode now? Well, what do you think, Tyler?
We can keep him for now. Anyway.
Just called Apple Crapple though.
Everybody's entitled to their own opinions.
You're right.
But
I respect that. Well, the reason why we're talking about this because today's the big Apple launch party. We got the two new iPhones coming out. We got the Max and what's the other one, Tyler?
Oh yeah, they're doing
R.
different. They're doing different models this time. I haven't even.
Yeah, you got three different
I don't
models.
even pay attention. It's just a whole bunch of money.
Well, only two models are being released tomorrow, and the R model is being released in October.
Yeah.
So our good friend Skylar over here already pre-ordered it, so he'll be getting those iPhones today at some point.
Got that XS Max.
So I guess let's get into this topic. Let's ask Tyler. Tyler, why do you like Apple? Why do you prefer Apple? Please share your opinion with us. Your thoughts.
It's just a superior product.
In what way? How is that a definition?
And
I don't know.
Begins.
I mean, I like the Samsungs. They're a good design. For me, mainly, I like the software on iOS more than how the Samsung does it. Like I played around with them and stuff. Able to have the Apple Music and all that stuff built into it is actually very useful. Like I don't choose it just because it's just Apple. Just because growing up with all the what's it called? Like iPods and stuff, and having the Apple Music for all that time, it's just easy to have that same library in. With the iPhones, it's changing more so nowadays. Now that most people are just streaming music,
Right.
Because for the most part, I don't download stuff anymore. It's just all streaming. But
Okay, so you have like a big iTunes collection then.
not huge.
Okay.
Like I said, because now it's mainly just the streaming stuff.
Right, but you had a big enough iTunes collection
That
at
I-
the time
yeah, at
that
the
you
time
kept with
switched.
Apple because of that. Okay, I
Yeah.
can understand that. I can understand that.
So I kind of kept with it like that, and then I don't know. I like the products. I know they don't change much year to year, but I mean, why change if it's working? So people get mad when it's like, oh, all they did was make it bigger, but they don't see what's under the hood. It's always faster, you know.
I like this guy talking about cars too. What's under the hood?
I don't know.
Excuse me.
Okay, so I guess I never got that point because my iTunes library was very small. I only ever ordered one album and one single in iTunes, so I never had. I don't even know if I still have access to that account. So I never had the library to justify staying with Apple for that reason. Because otherwise, admittedly, I pirated a whole bunch of my music because I was too poor to buy it at the time, and then imported it into iTunes and then offloaded it onto my iPod. So I did have an iPod at one time. I think I had like 3 iPod shuffles go through the wash. So
Oh boy, that's not good.
Yeah, once I actually switched to iPhone 5, my iPod slowly. I had 2 iPods because I bought a new one and the other one I still had, but I managed to destroy the new one because it went into the wash, and then I just started using the older one again until I put that one through the wash, and that's when I started relying on the phone more for the music also. At that point, but
Let's see, the software argument though, really, in my opinion, kind of falls short because with Android you can, Android and Microsoft, the Windows OS, you can do a whole bunch of customizations, and you can pretty much any app nowadays that's released is cross-platform, so you don't usually have to worry about that, about it being like an iPhone exclusive app. And so with Android, you can install your custom ROMs, your custom operating systems, and everything. So you can really customize it how you want. So like you got different themes and stuff. Where Apple really likes to lock that down, and you can only really get to that through jailbreaking. Which I guess you can make the argument rooting on an Android to get to some certain features is the same thing, but you can still change your stock OS most of the time without having to root. So I like having the versatility of changing what my phone's running on.
Yeah, I'll give you that. I mean, I think about that sometimes, and I wish you could have a little bit more customization with Apple. For instance, I wanted to, like, I was looking into seeing just for the Apple Watch if I could change the ringtone,
Oh yeah.
but you can't.
Oh, it only has one ringtone.
It has one tone.
Oh, I never even knew that.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
that's
even
awful.
as something simple as that, like the watch only has the one tone, and I wish you could customize that, but you can't. I don't know if you can on the Samsung watches and stuff, but
I don't know. I don't have any smart watches. That I don't know.
You're already
Oh,
smart
yeah.
enough, Mason. That's why you don't need a
Yeah.
smartwatch.
one day when you switch to Apple, you'll get one. But
You guys are very detailed about your stuff. Like megapixels and this ringtone and like it's very like I'm more of a simple guy. I like Apple because it looks good. It's a good looking phone.
So you buy it for the status symbol.
I mean, not the status symbol. I love iOS. It's an easy system to use. I think it's like everything's just like laid out so pretty. It's just right there. It's
Yeah,
like okay, I can do this. I can do that. Like it's just like it's kind of like
I will say iOS probably has a cleaner layout.
right. It
But
does.
because it has a cleaner layout, it's because they lock down so much.
That could be true.
So I mean, I feel as though for people who are first getting into smartphones and like maybe the elderly or whatever, middle aged,
Yeah.
people, however you would want to classify that.
Yeah.
Their first smartphone experience, it might be a lot easier for them to learn a smartphone on an iPhone. But if you really know what you're doing, you can really take advantage of the Android operating system.
So, are you saying, Mason, that Apple people are not capable
That's
of using
not what I'm
other phones?
saying.
It's just like, well, it's for the elderly. Like, am I considered elderly because I have an iPhone? Like,
what he's saying is just easier to get used to the experience because it's
No,
much
no.
more ease of use
respect
type
it.
of software.
it is.
Yeah,
It is.
But then you
for
get
someone-
used to it, and a lot of people don't leave it.
Right. Yeah,
Because
like for someone who's never touched a smart device in their life, to be able to pick that up and learn, but like trial by error.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty friendly
No, it is
on that
It is.
aspect.
and it's a good looking phone on top of that. It's just a beautiful.
I mean,
phone.
Androids have good looking phones too.
Do they though?
I mean, you can get the crappy model ones like from Alcatel and stuff, like $20 models. But
Nobody
I mean,
wants
the Samsungs are nice phones. I mean,
they're not
Samsung's
like
kind
an
of
Apple though.
well,
I
Samsung's
like
kind of
my
like the
Apple
universal
phones.
name
Exactly.
for Android.
I do like the looks of them, but I don't just get them for the looks. But I
No.
do like the looks. I mean, I bought the new watch for the looks, but
You did.
I did.
Spent a lot of money. Well, spent a lot of
Yeah, see,
apples
we'll
on
have to
that.
talk about
See, that's
that one,
another
but-
thing, the price that Apple charges.
Well,
Like-
even the new Samsung was up there above 1,000.
Yeah, and
can't
I've
even
never
talk
bought
about that
well,
anymore.
I've never bought a Samsung. I
But
don't
if
know.
you're talking about flagships on both sides,
Well, so LG has a pretty good flagship phone. I don't remember the model right now, but I think it's only in the $500 to $700 range. And I've kind of fallen out of liking with the company OnePlus, but they make some pretty good flagship phones for like half the price, like $500 $700 range. So yeah, I mean, I feel like on Android you generally, because you have so many options, you can try to go around picking like what hardware really supports what you want.
Mhm.
Because you can, like, if you don't really take any pictures or don't need to take any pictures, you can just sacrifice camera quality and maybe get a little faster of a phone or get more storage on board.
In which I'll give that to Apple storage situation is terrible.
Yeah, and no
I hate-
expandable storage on
yeah,
Apple
that-
is really annoying.
That I find stupid, and they charge you a lot of money for just a little bit more storage.
Right. Yeah, like my phone.
It's
I
not what
don't.
storage costs.
I don't have any expandable storage on this, but one thing I really love about my phone is I have 2 SIM card slots, and so I have two different numbers. One I would use for my personal number, and one for a work number, so I could give it out at work and not have them calling me when I'm on the call to do work stuff on my personal number, especially once I left that company. I didn't want anyone having my personal number to call me by
Probably a
accident.
good
Yeah.
idea.
That's interesting.
Yeah, but even with that issue, Apple is still like the number one selling phones. Like people don't really care about the storage thing. I mean, it would be nice to have like, because it does. I agree with Tyler. Like they do charge a ridiculous amount of money to get a little extra, gigs for like. It is crazy.
Mhm.
I was watching an interview the other day with Tim Cooks, the big boss of Apple. He was on Good Morning
Who-
America.
Fun fact, came from my home state,
Oh yeah, that's right.
Robertsdale, Alabama.
Good old Alabama.
Only 15 minutes away.
We love the Alabama people.
With that, is that true though? I mean,
So what Tim Cook?
well, I mean, as far as Apple and Apple being the biggest, isn't Samsung more?
I wasn't sure about that number 1 phone selling stat, but I can't say I know
I
who
Yeah.
think
is.
I heard something the other day. Tim Cook saying that, and
Well, of course Tim Cook would claim his
Well,
company
I'm just
is the
saying.
number 1.
so they asked him on.
Well, what they say, every company with every new launch of phone, they always say it's the best phone.
so
ever.
the iPhone
'Cause
10
it
that
usually is because it's the brand new
the
one.
iPhone 10 that came out last year, they gave the number. I forget the number was, but they sold the most phones in history that week or whatever, the first week of sales.
Like you really have to preface that. Like most phones in history
Like
total
the
like
most,
over
like
it,
like
yeah.
like
it was.
accumulated total sales.
That could be the most
Or-
phones sold in a week. Doesn't mean they have the majority of the global population.
I think so. I don't know. Whatever. I love Apple anyways.
I'm
So-
sure I'm sure the YouTubers can look up the stats.
I'm sure they can. So what Tim Cook was saying, people asked him like, "All right, so why are these phones so expensive?" And like he worded it like, "Well, because it's pretty much multiple devices all rolled into one. So you don't need to buy a fancy camera or like if you want to buy like a video recorder, like it's all rolled into this one device, and that's why they charge that amount." That was
feel
what
as
he
though
said.
that
It's
argument
something like,
falls flat.
I mean, it could be. But I
'Cause-
mean, their camera is really good though.
Okay, so compare, for example, flash NAND storage. So your total onboard storage on your phone.
Yeah.
And what's the highest that Apple offers now? Don't they offer a 512?
Yeah, they just
512, yeah.
512. Yeah. Didn't you get that?
512 gigabytes.
We don't have to talk about that.
He just bought the 512 gig.
I may have gone overboard with that one.
That's
I
a
may
little
have
bit
gone, yeah.
ridiculous. Like
I thought about that more afterwards. I could have just stuck with the 256.
I feel
but-
like that's more than
I
enough.
mean, I have
Yeah.
250. I think it's a 256.
Yeah.
But I have 256 with only 70 gigs of storage left.
Holy crap,
Um,
you're a data hoarder. I have a 128 gig model.
Yeah. So I mean,
phone,
I probably would have been fine to get it again if I just delete some apps.
right.
So delete some apps.
But I already got it. So
Oh,
it's too
yeah,
late
let
now.
me.
Or if you had an Android, just stick an SD card in.
Oh,
Well, he
yeah,
doesn't have an
but-
Android because he likes apples.
Yeah.
We're not like you. We don't like crapple over here.
But I mean, like compare that to trying to buy like an SSD for your computer. You can get like a 512 gig SSD for roughly like $150 on decent speed. But I mean, once you factor in all that, I still feel like Apple is overcharging you on component costs.
I mean, they do. I mean, but they know they have the market and people will buy it and people will spend the money. That's why they do it.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
just
I think a lot of people end up buying it for the status symbol that it gives you because it
On
seems
Apple.
as though everyone wants to have an Apple because it's like the new fad.
of America. It's the world.
I don't know.
Aren't they the first company to hit $1 trillion, something like that? I heard.
I don't think so. I
You're
think
coming up
that's-
with a lot of first stats
Yeah, I
here.
don't
I
know
want
about
to
that one.
see these.
Pretty sure that's
I-
Amazon.
Are you sure?
Pretty sure
I
that's
heard
Amazon.
Tim Cook say that the other day on Good Morning America. I can look
I
up
don't
these.
think
Well, of
so.
course Tim would say that.
Well,
about
I'm
his
just
own
saying.
company.
I see. This is not what Kiko Fresh saying. This is what Tim Cooks is saying, the big boss of
Yeah,
Apple.
I want to
okay?
say that was Amazon.
That could be Apple as well. People are buying a lot of
They may be-
AirPods.
They may be racing each other, but
Maybe. Who knows? I feel like this debate
I
will
mean,
just continue for a
was
long
it
time
with
now.
Jeff
Yeah.
Bezos? I don't know his last name.
Pesos? Talking about money?
Definitely not pesos.
Oh, sound like pesos over there.
No, he's talking about the Amazon guy.
Oh.
Yeah, but I mean, he's the richest guy in the world. Right?
Is he now?
So
Tyler just spent a lot of pesos on his new Apple products.
I don't think
sure
he actually
did.
spent pesos. He probably spent U.S. dollars.
Oh,
but,
it's
I
okay.
bought them in pesos.
Yeah, he bought them at pesos.
Yeah.
He got that connection somewhere. You know he does.
Mexican drug cartel.
Don't worry about that.
Yeah. All right. Well, this is a great debate. I think it's something we can always talk about. So us Apple guys will stick together, and you can there. I can't even look at you because you just shade me. It's okay. I still love you though. I'm not gonna judge you, okay? Because Kiko Fresh doesn't judge. At the end of the day, okay. You guys have any more things you want to talk about Apple? Or are you good?
I want, just customization more for my watch. Apple.
Okay.
If you
Well,
can
shout
just
out
do that
Tim.
for me.
Tim Cooks, please hear that and
You got me, Tim. I want that.
Tim, hook it up with the custom iPhone for Mr. England.
Like
No, he
custom
just wants the
iPhone.
custom
Oh,
Apple
I'm
Watch.
not-
I don't want that much. All I want is a new update.
You know
to
what? You
change
deserve a
my
custom
ringtone.
iPhone.
That's all.
Can you jailbreak the Apple Watches?
I don't know. I never cared for jailbreaking, so I mean, I don't need that.
Tyler
stuff,
believes in
so-
rules. He's a good guy.
Oh, it's not illegal.
Is
It's about to come up for review again. but
it? Oh, okay.
No, it's not. It's not
It's
illegal
not
right now.
illegal, but I think that also like Apple frowns upon that. and
You
they
lose
don't-
warranty
yes,
support.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I don't want to lose warranties.
I don't
The
want those
warranties are nice.
They are very nice.
Well, yeah, I guess you especially need them if your company's building crappy products.
Wow.
I mean, anything will break if you drop it.
This guy from Bammer's just throwing
I've only
shade
ever
at
cracked
Apple.
one phone, it's just because I dropped it on pavement. It fell out of my pocket.
Well, that will
Yeah.
probably do it.
Yes. But everybody just is clumsy and they drop and they're like, oh, Apple's the most
Fragile phone.
fragile phone out there.
Yeah, it's not true.
But really, it's just because a large portion of people have them, mainly kids, because everybody wants them because it's a status symbol, and they drop them the most because they're clumsy and they don't care about money. And I
Because their
think that's
mommy
why
and
it
daddy
really
gives
gets
them
the name
money
from that,
to
so.
get the iPhones. That's why.
Yeah,
Mom,
I
Dad,
see
can I have
kids with,
the new
the new
iPhone at the age of
iPhones.
5?
Like, I mean, I don't care about kids having them at young age, but not the newest one. You
Yeah,
know?
get them an iPhone 3.
Yeah, something.
I don't think those
Something.
exist anymore. I have to buy them online or something.
I don't know.
All right. I just want to throw it out there. When I first met Tyler, he had a BlackBerry.
I know BlackBerry is one company that's gone down the drain.
Oh, it did.
yeah.
No, I
man.
had
He had a BlackBerry.
I had my first like rectangle phone. I got that in like 4th grade.
It's beautiful.
Then I got like a Palm Pre, then BlackBerry, then iPhone 5.
So this is one thing I don't like to admit. My first phone was an iPhone 4.
Whoa. You
He had an iPhone
whoa.
before me.
Gee, he had an iPhone before me
Oh,
too.
okay, so I guess I should preface that. My first real phone was an iPhone 4.
Oh, so
I did have, it was like a $20 Walmart Android, and I just couldn't do anything on it. It had like 512 megs of storage on it, so I literally could only have the Facebook app, and that was it.
Oh God.
And but no, so I got an iPhone 4, and then I started getting my Androids. I had Samsung Galaxy S4. I bought used. I never bought it new. And then I got a OnePlus phone. I think it was the OnePlus X, and then the phone that I have now.
Man.
So.
Very nice. Some old phones. Some phones I've never heard of before in my life. But that's okay.
That's because you only surround yourself with Apple.
Well, no, my first smartphone was an I had Windows phone.
So
Then I
here's
got
actually an
Android.
interesting question. Do you don't have any Apple computers, do you?
No.
No. Okay. So one thing that you might also buy an Apple phone for is to keep the ecosystem, because if you have the Apple iCloud and all the backup stuff, and the
The
syncing,
ecosystem is huge.
that
My
yeah,
friend
they,
sent me a video on that whole thing about why people do all that stuff. And
yeah, the ecosystem is really big, and you got those salamanders running around, and so
Yeah, you gotta watch out for those salamanders. Dangerous. All right, that was a good topic. All right, so we're gonna do a little throwback here. We're gonna go to Kiko's thoughts when Trey came up with. Good old Trey. Another shout out to Trey. Give a shout out to Trey.
hey, what's up, Trey?
You're from Alabama. You guys are like brothers, so you know.
Yeah.
All right, so my thought of the day is, here we go. You guys ready? Now you guys don't know what my thought is, so it's gonna be a surprise. And I want you guys to give me your opinion. All right, you ready for this?
Don't make me disappointed.
I'm not. Are you living or are you existing? Think about that for a moment. What do you guys think? Well, after you think about it for a moment.
I think I can actually go ahead and answer this.
Really?
I think right now I'm just existing
Hmm.
because I'm doing what I can just to make it. Because as you know, I'm recent to this northern state.
You are.
And I haven't had a paycheck since like the middle of August. Tomorrow's payday. Maybe tomorrow I'll start living.
Okay, I like that. English.
Does living require having free time?
It does.
Then I guess it'd be existing.
You're existing.
I do work quite a lot, so.
You
but
do.
I get my occasional vacation,
You do.
but
But then you come back to reality,
I do.
and then you're existing.
I do. Yeah.
What do you want to do, Tyler?
I don't know.
Do you want to live?
I guess I would like to live. I mean,
What do you want to do, Mason? Do you want to live or do you want to exist?
I mean, everyone would want to live.
Exactly.
But the reality right now, I don't know when I'll get to that point.
Hey, but listen, but your goal is to live, right?
Eventually, yes.
So that's all that counts then. That's your goal? That's awesome. That's your goal?
I guess so.
MashaAllah, that's a beautiful thing then. Man, all praise to the Most High. yo.
What about yourself? Huh?
Man, I mean, I think I'm living. There's moments where I exist. You know, you get kind of like, I think like the problem is like a lot of people get caught up in this world, you know, iPhones and cars and trips, and it's like they're nice, but in reality, it's not everything. Like having your family, getting up every day with a purpose and doing something you love to do, and you know, changing your life, changing someone else's life. That's what living's all about. You know, like, you know, making a difference in this world, making a difference in yourself, and you know, becoming a better person. Like that's living, not getting up every day and go do the same thing and, you know, rinse, repeat. Like, you know, it's just like a lot of people do that. They get stuck in a job for, you know, 15, 20, and, you know, so on and so forth. And it's like, at that point, you're just existing because are you doing what you want to do? Are you doing things you're passionate about? Are you, you know, you get up every day with a purpose feeling like, oh man, this is a great day. Like, or, oh, I got to go to work again. Time to go punch the clock, do my job. It's like, have a reason because we only get one shot in this world. And it's like, let's do what we can to make a difference and, you know, be happy about it. That's what it's about. That's your thought. That's your Kiko Fresh thought for the day. All right.
So that's actually a really nice tie-in to our song of the week.
Is it? Oh, it worked
yeah.
out good. All right,
Yeah.
here we go. Song
really
of the
nice
week.
tie-in to our song of the week because if you're just existing, you're not gonna get a chance to live before the world stops turning, which is the name of the song by Opus. It was
Opus Die.
Opus Die. I don't
That's
know,
my
honestly,
that's
I
my
don't know.
take on it. Opus Die.
I was gonna put this in Google to figure out how to pronounce it, and now
That's
I look
fine.
like an idiot. So it is what it is.
That's good. Yeah. So that's the song of the week.
Yeah, song of the week.
Hopefully
the day
Trey
the
will
world
be
stopped
proud.
turning.
I love it. Yeah, it's actually good. That worked out good. Yeah. Wow. That was a good episode. I enjoyed it. You guys had a good time.
So far,
Awesome. Well, I hope everyone at home enjoyed it. Thank you for joining on another great episode of No Answers Yet, and hopefully we find those answers. So, you know, let me ask you guys a question: are you living or are you existing? That's up for you guys to decide. All right. You guys go with that?
nah, it's too fresh for me.
All right. It's your boy Kiko Fresh, Tyler on the knobs, and our special guest. We love this guy though.
Still Mason.
Still Mason. All right, guys. Till next time. We out.